Hey, welcome everybody. I'm Theon, and I've been wearing my Pip-Boy basically every day for about a week now. You know, going to work and stuff. I'm a stagehand, so I do a lot of things with my hands, plug it in wires. The hardest part would be getting my hand into a truss, like tighten up bolts. Anyways, I got a bug report for us. Where's my cell phone? Hang on, I wrote this stuff down. I'm real professional about it. Oh, so after about a week, I'm sure you could imagine I've noticed a few bugs in the software, hardware. You know what I'm saying? So, I've got this handy dandy little notepad here, and I just want to go through all of this from stats, inventory, data map, radio, and then each subcategory within it. We'll just go through everything, and it's not too terribly big. I'm really satisfied with the software, how it works. Here's some general things. The light meter. Even when my rad light meter is it's the battery's fully charged, I can't get it to turn green. I'm pretty sure they said it was going to go, green, yellow, and red for full charge, yellow for medium, and red for you should probably put it on the charger. Except I only have yellow and green. Not even on the rad meter does it show any green. It's always yellow or red. There's about a 2-second delay between the screen off and back on when the power button's pressed. You'll take a look here. It's nothing too crazy. I just imagine this is like a processing limitation. This isn't our cell phones. It's not going to run that fast. That's about 2 seconds, right? I'll find out after I edit this. That's not really too much of a problem, though. Just be patient, I guess. The radio turns off with the screen. That's kind of nice, but also it'd be nice to have an option maybe so you could like leave the radio on with the screen off, because with the screen on and no radio all day, I'm gonna say this is about 4.5, 5 hours of battery life. I want to find out what it's like with just the radio on the whole time and the screen off the whole time. See how long this thing will last. But can't find that out because, I have to have the screen on to have the radio on. It would be nice if they could group all of the animations from the show into one tab. Because right now there's the Connect, there's Diagnostics, there's the Stats, which has most of the animations. Apparel has one, Aid has some, and then the Maps has like 7. That maps should stay there. But it'd be nice if all the show animations were just condensed into one area, because it feels very scattered and they always select on a random one. It's never the same one that you left off from, so to speak. The external terminal and the Connect feature. It's almost confusing, isn't it? Because this one here says Connect and this one here says external terminal. Well, it turns out the Connect feature, it is just an animation. It doesn't actually do anything. You don't even need that to upgrade it on the Pip-Boy's website. So it's just an animation, and that's fine and everything, but it should be grouped with the rest. It's a little confusing in a sense. Another thing, this is strange, the USB cable is a little bit too long. So I've got this going on here. I've just twirled it up into itself. But they have it this long so that you could pretty much hold it in one hand and connect the other thing. See what I'm saying? That's why they have that. If somebody wants to make a hardware mod, turn this into a reel, that'd be pretty cool. But with it like this, it really does stay there all day. It's basically just fine. I can drive like this, because with it out, this is about where my steering wheel is when I'm driving with this. It sits almost right on that. So this is perfect. It doesn't actually touch the Pip-Boy or the cable. I've worried about the cable damage. It seems to be just fine. I'm not smashing it into things. This would take somebody with experienced large bracelet usage to not damage, in a sense. You know what I mean? So this might not be an everyday wear just because of this factor right here. This might be your weakest point. You lose that cable, guess what? You're gonna have to replace it, which isn't too bad, really. Oh, the padding is a bit too small. I've got, some padding inside the pads now. It's so soft. Oh god, this is so comfy. Like, I can wear this all day. It's amazing. This has been about a week that I've owned it now. After 6 days of owning it, was like yesterday, I think. It's hard to tell. The screen randomly flashed white and gray, like a whole bunch alternating, and this was turning off and on from yellow and off and yellow off. And I was like, oh, what's going on? I was just about to put the Pip-Boy on for the morning, and I didn't like do anything to it. I didn't power it off and back on that morning. Everything was normal. And then I pressed the power button and the screen turned off. And I pressed the power button again and the screen turned on. And it was fine. And everything was fine. I don't know what to think of that. So that happened once. And I don't know why. And that's it. That's all the general stuff. Okay, so for the main software bugs, here's what we've got. We're going to start in the stats. For status, all the health animations are clean and smooth, but the 0 Vault Boy has screen tearing, while the other ones don't. I'm not sure if this is because there's so many parts moving of the Ghoulified. His head is different, that's about it. Yeah, there's screen tearing on his, that's one way to put it. And all the other animations are really clean. The Smiling Vault Boy has the same health as the Sad Vault Boy, and should or could these stats be, 100 when he's smiling and then slightly down when he's sad? That way the stats aren't the same and he has the same face, I really want all my limbs at 100. That'd be really nice to have, because I'm kind of peculiar about that. It's like, why am I walking around half hurt? On Connect, we have, it's just simply an animation, as I mentioned. It's not needed to update or upgrade your Pip-Boy. It could be just moved to the stats subcategory under the data tab with all the other animations, in my opinion. But also it goes right beside the diagnostics on the main stat category here. So maybe it goes with that. There's 3 animations on the diagnostics. Absolutely no issues with them. I think they should stay where they are with their own diagnostics thing. Maybe that could be like a subcategory in the attachments on here under inventory. That way it's like a thing, the diagnostics thing that you have. It's an inventory item, which is a nice segue into the inventory. Let's go to the attachments. The external terminal. Why is it on the top of the rad meter if the rad meter is the highlight item? When you're going in your Pip-Boy, I don't like to have it, saved place where I was last. I like to have it start back at the top of the menu whenever I change tabs and stuff. Like, if I get out of the Pip-Boy and back in, it should go back to the top. I don't know why the rad meter is below it. They should have, rad meter, flashlight, external terminal, because the external terminal is actually what you connect to your computer to use the up, down, left, right arrow keys and so forth. The rad meter. It doesn't remember the last rad reading position, so it always starts at random numbers, but always, minimum of 5, a maximum of 5. And it grows by 2 in number when, turned on. But the numbers, they go 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 10. Shouldn't it be 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10? That'd be cool. Or maybe 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Right? Right. Flashlight. The Pip-Boy light on sound is there, but when you turn it off, it doesn't make the sound. Here they are, just so you know what they both sound like. And here is this Pip-Boy's light. It like does a quick it like has the last quarter of a second of the turn on sound. It's not the actual Pip-Boy turn off sound. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's just like the last quarter of a second on the turn off. It's just the same sound as the turn on. It should be the appropriate 2 separate files. Anyways, it's almost not bright, but also in the dark of my room at night, it's an excellent light. Like, really, this is not much of an issue at all. The flashlight button only activates when the screen is on. Again, just like the radio I mentioned, I would like to be able to turn on the flashlight while my screen is off. Not sure if that's actually possible on the software side of coding things, but that would be a really nice feature to have. Apparel, it's just a text animation. When you're scrolling, up and down, there's like only one whole click frame of black, if you'll notice right here. Maybe they could just like cut one of those out so that way the 2 document edges are one in the same frame. That way it's not just like some kind of blacked out screen. It's almost weird to see a totally blacked out screen on your Pip-Boy, you know what I mean? Aid. It could move, it's just the moving, staying in Vault 32, 33. This really should just go with the rest of the animations in the stats tab, which doesn't also make much sense as to why the animations are under your stats, because that's where you'd want to see. But also, you can't really set your stats anyways, which is just fine. So yeah, the aid, it's just those 2 animations. The aid really should be something else. I don't know what, but those 2 animations of staying, moving, Vault 32, 33, they could get sent with the rest. That'd be cool. Under data, got the clock. 2 clock options. Got the secondary. Oh wait, hang on. I'm not doing anything with this anyway. That doesn't matter though. I got B-roll. Anyways, I got the 2 clock options. That's nice and all. But it'd be cool if the second clock option here could show the whatever your stat health is set as, and maybe just the first frame of it. That way it doesn't have to be moving while the clock is blinking at the same time. You know, that way it saves on processing power. Just use the first frame of the health that your stat is set at. That'd be really cool. Really good idea, I think. Oh, on the stats, here's where we have the thing. The stats doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because it's just a bunch of the animations from the show, and also the marriage application Vault Boy has a lot of screen tearing going on, very similar to the ghoulified 0 health stat. Otherwise, all the animations are really clean, but this marriage application one is the only one with screen tearing as well. Also, they should all be grouped together. I know I keep harping on it, I'm so sorry. It's just they're very scattered, and it took me a while to figure out what's what and where. For the maintenance, I really don't have any complaints about the maintenance tab itself. What we got written down here? The display brightness is default max 20. And that's fine, but it resets after a system reboot shutdown. It should remember the last set user brightness. So like if I have it set at 18 and I turn my device off and back on, it'd be nice if it remembered it was supposed to be at 18 brightness. Like the radio remembers where it's supposed to stay. Give us other things that, you know, it should remember where they stay. Like the animations, it should maybe stay on the last played animation. The maps should be on the last displayed map that the user was on, rather than always starting on something pulling from random. I know this might also be, you know, more system intensive, memory intensive, so that's why these things aren't possible. I don't know. The display brightness with the flashlight button long press, it dims it down to screen brightness of 10. Hang on. You see, that's volume. That's brightness 10, and if you hold it again, it's gonna max it out back to 20, no matter what your. Oh, hang on, jeez. It maxes it out back to max brightness of 20, even if you had it set at a different value before. I think it'd be really nice if, say you have your screen brightness set to 3. It'd be way too dark to see. But anyway, say you have it set to 3. You hold the button and it maxes it out to 10. And then say if you hold it again, it takes it back to the user brightness rather than max 20. So if you have it set to 18, guess what? It's going from 10 back to 18, 18 to 10, 10 to 18. Give the user the option for user sets that are remembered by the system itself. That'd be really nice. The alarm will disable upon the device power off. So if you turn off the Pip-Boy, turn it back on, the alarm will be off still. It will, if it was on, it's going to turn it back off. So if this thing resets in the middle of the night, for some reason, guess what? Your alarm is now shut off. That's a little bit dangerous in my opinion. It should disable only by user input. The alarm saw sound, it resets instead of being a constant ripper sound. So I think that's a little weird, but also I'm a stealth guy. I don't care for the ripper anyways. So, but that's a bug feature. All the other alarm sounds, they're pretty good. You know, the door's a little quiet, but that's fine. I use the klaxon anyways myself on here. For the map, it's got 7 animations from the show. Maybe keep the topographical world maps together and then the local maps together, like, you know, in a list thing. And always remember, it should remember the last one you were selected on. That'd be nice. That way you can always know, I'm going to go to the map tab and boom, that one is up. That way you know what you're going to be showing people for sure. That way you're not getting lost in the sauce as well, you know? Because the randomization of everything, it's a little inconvenient in my opinion. And this is where it starts to pile up. The radio tab. There's a few issues with this. I'm just going to get this one out of the way to start. It is spatially dependent on signal. And I don't just mean, like, I do mean strength, because like it's going to be the same strength everywhere in the room for any other radio you buy. But this one, like, you have to be sitting just right. And if you move it over 3 inches, gone. I don't know how, but it's so weak of an FM signal. It's almost useless unless you're just sitting there. You have it on the stand. You can't wear it and listen to the radio. You're going to be doing things. Your signal's dropping out all the time. More out than in. So that's just, I don't know if that's a software thing or not, but it makes me want to drill a hole in here and give it a little TV radio antenna and just like attach to the thing so it freaking works. The volume, it goes from 0 to 15. When you buy it, this thing comes at a volume of 10, so I thought 10 was the max. So I thought, okay, well, radios are loud, commercials suck, I'm going to turn it down to 8. And then I update the Pip-Boy on the website here. And now my default volume is set at 8 forever. So if I turn it to 13 and I go to a different tab, like I'm listening to the radio, or I turn it off and back on, go back over to the radio, turn it on again, it's back at 8. The max is 15. I wanted it sitting at 13 now. I don't have that option though. I'm locked in at 8. So whatever volume you set it at, whenever you upgrade your Pip-Boy, the radio volume is going to get locked in at that level for sure. The FM radio tuning, often on the top knob here, it's added with the first update so that you can change the station individually by selecting that. But however, it doesn't register inputs sometimes, and then sometimes it registers 2 inputs like much later. Sometimes just like off the bat, it just decides 2 inputs and then 1. Now no inputs because I overdid one. It's not it should go 1 click is 1 input. It has to do with the system limitations of like the 2-second power on power off for the screen. It's the same thing. It's you're inputting a little too fast with this, and the system can't keep up with it. So it stores that in the cache, and it's not able to pull it quick enough to actually change the radio, is what I'm guessing. If you select FM radio on with this, okay, and then you're in this radio tab and you press the radio on button, it turns on KPSS, and it plays both at the same time. Your radio is halved by volume, and KPSS is the normal volume. And it should turn off the radio you're listening to. It shouldn't turn on KPSS while you have the radio on. If you turn the radio on here, it should turn the radio off here if you're on that same button. It shouldn't turn on KPSS. If you're in any other tab and you press this while the radio's on, it will turn on and off your FM radio like normal. Okay, here we go. This is a mouthful. KPSS radio only works while on the radio tab. If you change tabs or up-down selection, it turns off KPSS and sets the radio volume to 2. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know what that is. It's done it to me like 3 or 4 times, but KPSS will randomly set the volume to 2 whenever you turn KPSS off. KPSS will play several clips of different songs from the show rather than the entire song. It will have him do a little intro thing, and it plays like 3 seconds of one song, and then 7 seconds of another song, and then 7 seconds of the next song, and then 5 seconds of a different song. And then it's just, and just give us the whole song, because I thought that's what we were in for, not this weird mixed up remix mash. I don't really know how long the KPSS is, but it's not playing the whole song and then starting the next one whenever. I don't know why it wouldn't be that way. It doesn't make any sense. Somebody had to try to make it that way. You know what I mean? Let's see. The radio station change sound. It's missing. If you're on any of the other tabs and you change the radio station, it doesn't do the radio change noise, and you're not really sure if your input happened. It's totally silent. Eventually you'll just hear like, oh, this radio station's coming in, because guess what? I happen to be in the right angular position to get the radio station to pick up. So because of the spatial dependence of the FM radio and the missing FM radio sound while in other tabs, it's really hard to tell whenever you're changing your actual FM station. It should always make that sound whenever you turn this knob. That's just my opinion, but it should. Let's see. The volume software change sometimes makes areas of these 3 text boxes. Sometimes whenever you're changing the volume, it will change the brightness of these 3 text boxes by 1, and I don't know why, because the next click it goes back to the normal brightness, but only these 3 text boxes will increase brightness value by 1. That's super strange to me. If you turn the Pip-Boy off while the radio's on, it shuts down and reboots just fine, with the screen off, screen back on. However, the radio's off upon reboot, which is basically normal enough. However, if you go to the radio tab, the radio remembers, oh, I was on when the Pip-Boy shut off, and it turns back on its own. Maybe the Pip-Boy radio should just stay on while the screen is off if you don't turn it off. That'd be cool. And like disable this hardware button to disable the radio. You could just go back into the Pip-Boy and turn the radio off. That way you're not bumping it and turning it on and off while your screen is off. Just a little quality of life stuff for the thing. That's it. It'd be nice to have the radio a bit more whole and thought out. In the software sense, in the hardware sense. That radio sound missing is very jarring. It shouldn't be so spatially dependent. Yeah. Otherwise, when it does come through the speaker, very nice quality. I'm very satisfied with it. The screen, it's a very vibrant green. Obviously with the white gray flashing, I could see there was all 3 colors in here, you guys. These are RGB LEDs. I've seen someone watch Fallout on this, and that was so cool. So yeah. There you have it. I have no other things to talk about with this. I've talked my brains out. So whenever the next update comes out, obviously I'm going to be updating that. I'll go through it for about a week, get a feel for all the software, make another report, you know? And if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching all of this. I hope that you have a Pip-Boy too. If you do, please comment below. If you don't have a Pip-Boy, comment below anyways, because I'm sure you want one if you made it this far. And this literally is a daily wear for me, you guys. I do not feel inconvenienced in my movements in the slightest. I am working out so I can get a little bit more forearm strength. It's like, you know, I don't want to wear the pads inside. I want it to be totally normal, but that's probably not going to happen. Anyways, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Like, I really appreciate you guys so much. And all right, thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna get up on out of here and start editing this.